What is going on, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf, and this is going to be an amazing show. We're going to talk about a lot in a short amount of time, so stick around. We're going to go over it all. This is a live show, so anything can happen. Stay tuned right after this. Remember, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anybody else with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that out of the way, make sure you are getting notifications from marfooglenews.com. You can actually get our own notifications from here. In fact, you can get push notifications directly to your phone. You can also sign up for your email alerts, which is extremely vital. We only have a few days, about 10 days left until we don't know. And in that time period, who knows? So remember, go to marfooglenews.com and sign up for both of those if you want to follow us. If you like this show and think it's valuable, please press that like and thumbs up, and, well, that's the same thing. All right. What is going on, guys? My name is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Just to remind you, every single thing that we are going to say here today is going to be backed up with an approved source or a bibliography of sorts. It's all on our website. In fact, we organize it very, very easily. You can just look for this thumbnail, and then when you go to our website and click on it, you will see that we have every single link, every single source to every single document, video, or tweet that we may put up will be right here. You can actually grab a second device and follow along. If we only hit, say, a headline, you can actually go back and read the entire document. You can read the entire article for yourself. At the very end, of course, is usually where we would have callers. Today is a news-only show. So, and then if you would like to support our show, again, you can go over to the right side. All of our sponsors and affiliates are right here. EMP Shield, NordVPN, Earthing. Of course, you can use our Amazon link through there, or you can even PayPal if you'd like to support us that way. All right, with that out of the way, let's introduce Dex. Dex is my co-host / screener / everything / Tony Stark, I guess. What's going on, Dex?
Oh, wow, Adam, that's a lot. How's it going, brother?
Are you Tony Stark, or are you more of the Hulk? Are you like, are you gonna grow into a big green monster?
Yeah, probably more like the big green monster. I think that works.
Yeah,
but, hello,
I already talked to your wife.
Welcome, everybody.
Okay, well, so lots to talk about. Let's get straight into it. First off, just to say hi real quick, we have a lot of really awesome people in the chat. We've got Shane, we've got Susan, we have Kathy Van Gilder, we have Channel Jammer, Jim Williams, Dazed and Confused Blonde, Alfred Phillips, Jojo A, Rudavan, we've got Barefoot Lass, Gina Dave, or I'm sorry, G.I. Jane, and then Sassy Lass, Chrissy, Scooby, watching Aussie Skies. I love it. Desert Granny, Chaos, let's see, Minnesota, Maine, let's see here, Karen Stasic, and Skippa Philo. Lots of new names too. I see a lot of new people, so thank you guys for coming over. Always try to let me know in a comment or wherever where you found me, because obviously we don't get suggested very often, so it is interesting to find out. I know that Stories brings us somewhat of a good amount of people, but thank you guys for doing that. All right, so let's get into it. We've got lots to cover and not very much time. All right, so Putin and Russia-China military alliance can't be ruled out. I mean, this seems to me like super obvious stuff, but whatever, we've got to go over it. Russian President Vladimir Putin says there is no need for Russia-China military alliance now, but noted it could be forged in the future. Putin's statement signaled deepening ties between Moscow and Beijing amid growing tensions in their relations with the United States. It asked during a video conference with international foreign policy experts Thursday if a military union between Moscow and Beijing was possible. Putin then replied that we don't need it, but theoretically it's quite possible to imagine it. Okay, so this, I think, is just like nuts, of course they will forge a tie, and of course they are extremely connected, especially with the public kind of exchange that they're doing to give China land to do farming, to actually farm the things that they are dependent on us for. Believe it or not, China is actually dependent on us for some things like soy, which, when I found that out, I was like, really? I would think it would be the other way around. But again, they are using farmland near Siberia, I believe, or in that area. I guess it's actual farmable land. Not maybe it's by there, and it's actually kind of like how Greenland is covered in ice and Iceland's covered in green. I don't know. I think of Siberia as like this frozen tundra, but of course I've never been there. I'm sure that it is different in all different areas. So again, they are, taking their dependence off of us and putting a lot of stuff into Russia. So I just don't think it's crazy to think that they are already so connected that this is just kind of a public laughing joke to them. It says Russia and China have hailed their strategic partnership, but so far rejected any talk about the possibility of them forming a military alliance. Well, of course. It says Putin pointed to the conflict games that the armed forces of China and Russia held as a signal of the country's burgeoning military cooperation. Putin also noted that Russia has shared sensitive military technologies that help significantly boost China's military potential, but didn't mention any specifics, saying the information was sensitive. It says, quote, without any doubt, our cooperation with China is bolstering the defense capabilities of China's army, he said, adding that the future could see even closer military ties between the two countries. It says the time will show how it will develop, but we won't exclude it, the Russian president said. So he's saying publicly that, of course, there is this connection as far as they drill together, they do a lot of these things together. It is completely and utterly obvious that they have done a lot militarily together. They are sharing and swapping ideas as far as technology so they can take us out. That's my opinion. As far as they don't want to be number 2 and 3, they want to be number 1. They both want to be number 1, but they are on different sides. Maybe they have had some sort of evil genius meeting and they go, well, I'll have this half of the earth and you have that half of the earth. Of course, though, think about it. If they took us over completely, just say in an imaginary world where Russia and China took us over and ran us, think about that in the future. Would they then take each other out? At some point, they would be tired of being half and half or a dual ruler. They would want to take out, one of them would want to take out the other. Both parties want to be the number 1. And it's super obvious that the planet has a few rulers in the world that have stuck around and basically taken power for themselves, and they won't give it up. Putin is a great example of that. If anybody even goes up against him, they get poisoned. Literally, the last time that somebody was going to go up against him in whatever they call an election, they basically poisoned the guy, or at least that's what was said. So that would kind of close the door to other people running up against him because they value their life. As far as China, Xi Jinping has made himself the ruler for the rest of his life. They changed things around. Now, Dex, was that even hard for him to do? Xi Jinping changed the laws or changed the government somehow. How did that even work? Do you know?
I think in their government, it's probably really easy for them to do, given that they just can make the rules up as they go, and they seem to have been doing that ever since they became a communist nation.
So if you look at the both of them, they're both separating, they're both preparing for something massive. Obviously, Russia is doing a lot of drills that don't get coverage here. In fact, I have spent a lot of my last year and a half going outside of the country with a VPN and actually looking at news from around the world because we don't get a lot. A lot of this stuff is hidden from us, and I think it's crazy that a lot of this is filtered out even through the main independent news articles. They don't talk about it. It's like they have some sort of rules against covering some of this stuff. But Russia is doing tons of drills with their actual citizens. We get to see some of the bigger ones as far as they did a drill a couple years ago where all 40,000 or most of the people in Moscow actually did a shelter drill. They did all sorts of public things, like they would put on TV what kind of foods you need to have and to stock for a nuclear exchange, all of these kind of things. are public on their state-funded and affiliated TV, whereas we don't do that. Nobody is prepared if there was a nuclear exchange. I know that some people think that the whole nuclear thing in the first place is kind of a fear tactic to keep people under control. But again, mutually assured destruction is what supposedly stopped us from going to conflict with these other countries. Otherwise, we would have done it a long time ago. It would have been, them taking us over or us taking them over. But if we did anything that pushed that boundary, there was that period where they were working this out. They said we would nuke you. Once Russia and China had nukes and all of these other, member states actually followed behind, it was a whole lot different. It changed things. Russia had enough to where if we sent missiles their way, the first missile, they would send every missile they had and destroy everything we had. And then in that time, we would send every missile we had and destroy everything they had. In fact, there's books about it. One of the gentlemen who wrote a book called, I think it was Memoirs of a Nuclear War Planner, he basically told about how he would go into work with all these other guys in the government, and they would plan on how to take out not only Russia, but all of China. This was part of it. There was no plan, and this is a quote from him, there was no plan that basically wiped out every city in Russia that did not include wiping out every single city in China. There was no one or the other. They looked at them as one. And today, I bet you that they think the same way. What do you guys think, though? I would love to hear your opinions. I'm always learning stuff from you guys. You guys are our lifeblood. Thank you guys for bringing us so many different opinions and making us smarter every day. Really, so I would love to go over, what do you guys think? Do you think that Russia and China, if you guys press 1, if you think Russia and China are together, completely and utterly inseparable, if there's any kind of conflict, they will be one. Press 2 if you think that they would go at anything separate. That's pretty simple to do. As far as, let's see here, South Florida DCL, hey, what's going on? Bubble 1. We've got Fox Canoes. I like that. I love Beagles. Shelly, back to 1. All 1s. Let's see here. There was a couple 2s there. Gosh, they go by so fast. Looks like Grego said 2 in Verstone. Gem. 1.5. I love it. World News again. Orwell says 1. Let's see here. Orlando Martinez, Sony Beach Girl. Almost all 1s. Some people are saying 3, though. I guess there's all of the above, right? They could go at it separate and then come together as well. Angel's Life, Tinfoil 2, Susan Loves. That's awesome. And then Jim Williams. Thank you, guys. It's pretty clear that most of you guys think that they are together as far as militarily and strategically. They are a team. They're not separate. Mona Sespi, thank you for the super chat. You can always write a message there as well. Thank you. It lets me get to know you guys. You can write a message, say hi. And then Jim Williams says, Adam, please give a shout out to Mark Pyre's Real Talk. Thank you, brother. I did actually yesterday on D-Live, and I was going to host him, but we could not find him. I believed he was live, but then by the time we were done, I could not find him. We're going to talk to him at least. That's for sure. He's very talented. I've been watching a couple of his shows. And then Marie Shaw, and by the way, dedicated, consistent guy. He's been on for like 663 days or something. I think today's 664. Marie Shaw, thank you so much. Doc Bill, I found him by the side of the road. Oh, crazy. So I might have missed something there. Blessings from an American watchman in China. Be safe and be well, Foogle fam. Jesus saves, and he's returning soon. Look up. David Blackwell, thank you for the comment. And again, thank you for, and let us know what's going on over there. If anything goes on, please, DM me or send me a message. We gotta stay connected to the people that are over there. I'm sure if something big was to go down, the people that are living there, like Megan or anybody else that are working there, you guys would know. You guys most of the time have to use VPNs to even get out of China with some of your information. And then pray for a double portion of unity of Genesis 11:6. We will all come in the unity of the faith, the knowledge of the Son of God, until a perfect man, onto the measure of the fullness of Christ, says Anthony Mann. Thank you for the super chat and thank you for the wonderful message. Ilea, we will probably have more armed citizens here in America than all of the world's military personnel combined. Will never be overtaken. Not to mention police are something, I think the New York police by itself is in the top like 10 of largest standing armies. If you considered them an army, they have so many there. You would think that we would have enough people with the Second Amendment that there would be quite a blast, quite a conflict. It says, Marf, you rock. Now you are how my mom was red-pilled, and she still listens to you, so thank you for that. Nicole Nunya Beeswax, thank you so much. And again, I think that this is more of like a gateway drug for truth, because we don't go down the deep rabbit holes, but we send you to people that do. So then you get a broader sense of it. We have a lot of people that are associated. We end up sending you through those. Keith and Queen Brat. Hey, Adam, Dex, and Foogle fam, trucking through snowy North Dakota. Hey, Queen Brat, I love you and miss you. God bless. That is awesome. They both send each other messages through that. That is hilarious. One will be out on the road trucking, and one will be at home, and they'll do it back and forth. That's hilarious. A lot of truckers listen to the show while they're driving. It's obviously quite an easy show to listen to as far as audio. Most of the stuff is audio related, so that's awesome. Well, thank you, Keith and Queen Brat. Thank you guys for watching as couples. All right, and then Johnny Doom, veterans help others, they will need you soon. By the way, I did post a thing on Twitter. Daddy's Parton, a creator here, his son has autism so bad that basically they were going to go to school. He could not wear the mask. It was a trigger for him to the point where he would try to run away from school. He's a little guy, and he could not wear the masks. So they ended up pulling him out and trying to homeschool him. But the problem is, to homeschool, you have to pay for all these things like assessments. They have to do like a speech and pathology assessment. All these things cost money. So I did put their GoFundMe, which I normally do not post. But that, again, you guys know I deal with kids with autism. I have my nephew that I've taken care of. That hit kind of close to home. And he's another creator on DLive, so I did post that up there if anybody wants to go over there and check that out. Again, I think that is really hard to deal with. I know that every single kid with autism has the capability to not only be anything they want, but be something absolutely far greater than any normal person. Their brains, some of them are working so much above ours. I'm saying, like, as an average person, they are so incredibly smart. They are so incredibly talented. So I hope that kid has every option to succeed. All right, and then so if you guys want to check that out, that is also over on Twitter. Jojo A, thank you guys. Nice. Spirit Rising 84, welcome to the Foogle fam. Down Home BC, welcome to the Foogle fam. Kelly 2334, my granddaughter is listening. Hi. Well, I guess there's no word for granddaughter, but hello, granddaughter of Kelly 2334. Thank you so much for being here today. And then Tedea Tua, thank you for following. And then Colorado Kev finally got subscribed. Love the show. T-Man 2020. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Kahaja Fly Girl and M. Menching. All of you guys are awesome. Jones 13 Dave, Crazy L12, and of course, Zippy Moons, Troyo 82. Thank you guys. All right, so to go into the next one, tanked Russian soldiers plow tank through an airport wall. We also had the caller, I think it was Snaps, that showed the video of that tank going like 60 miles an hour. It was insane. And it ran over a car like it was a speed bump. Now there's this story. It says, tanked Russian soldiers, and they say tanked Russian soldiers, like tank drunk, plow tank through an airport wall. Oh my goodness. Only in Russia. It says, I can hear you wanting to say something, Dex.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you said only in Russia. I'm thinking, could you imagine a story like this happening in America? Just insert any other, while you're reading this, insert any other airport in America.
I can't. Out like what? LAX, right? Gets plowed through with the tank. That just doesn't happen. Even in Europe, there's no other place where there would be a tank. You're on the runway about to take off, and then a tank flies onto the runway. It says Russia is no stranger to road rage incidents and other serious roadway encounters, which sometimes even involve military armed vehicles. Now a video has emerged on social media reportedly showing a very different kind of joyride, reportedly involving drunken Russian conscripts in a BMP-3. infantry fighting vehicle plowing through a barbed wire topped concrete wall at Volgograd International Airport in the southwestern region of the country. This is a big airport, by the way. This is an international airport. People can go all over the world from this place. And they pull through with a BMP-3 and just smash through like it was nothing. I wonder how if they got punished or not. It says, the incident at the airport, also known as Gumrack Airfield, reportedly occurred on October 20, 2020. Wow, that's weird. 2020. Only in 2020, right? According to a post from Russia's independent news outlet Baza on the Telegram social media network, the vehicle was said to be on its way to a training ground for an exercise at the time. Baza's post added that the airport continued to operate as normal after the BMP-3 came charging through the wall, but the vehicle damaged part of its security system. This is that is pretty flippin' funny there. So obviously, you got some craziness over there. Let's see here.
Now, you could always say maybe drunk is just a cover, and maybe somebody was at the airport that was a target, and somebody went rogue, but you never know.
Well, what's weird is one thing I don't realize, why was the camera like shaking? So it plowed through, and obviously that was pretty unique. Hold on one second. Dex, if possible, can you actually read the 2 blasts occur on Russian tanker real quick? I know that you have the time to do so. I just have a little.
Yes, absolutely, Adam.
Just have a little coffee on my keyboard here.
So get this: 2 blasts occur on a Russian tanker in Azov Sea as a vessel catches fire. So on the surface, you're just thinking, okay, well, a tanker caught fire and exploded. But I want to remind you of some of the conversations we've had and some of the reports we've reported here on our show about these mysterious fires and explosions on ships, whether it's in China, whether it's in Ryan, whether it's in our own port here in, I want to say it was near San Diego, where one of our amphibious ships was on fire. So let's go through this. According to the emergency services updated statement, 10 crew members have been rescued after their vessel caught fire in the Sea of Azov. A Russian tanker, the General Azi Alzanov, has caught fire with 2 explosions subsequently occurring in its oil compartment. Emergency services said in a statement, adding that the 10 crew members have so far been rescued. As a result, the fire on board of the oil tanker occurred in compartments for the petroleum products. That's the preliminary results that they said, that they're still investigating what actually happened. The tanker was reportedly empty at the time of the incident. I guess empty tankers can still explode, probably gas fumes, but the tanker was reportedly empty at the time of the incident. Overall, the vessel had 13 crew members and was heading from the port of Kaskos to Rostov-on-Don.
Rostov-on-Don.
So I question this one. You know, we've talked a lot about some of these strange fires on large ships. So what do you think, Adam?
Well, so to remind everybody, just a few months ago, and we talked about this last night actually, is that the last one that happened was an amphibious assault carrier of the U.S.'s that mysteriously caught fire and stayed on fire for 5 long days in port. So it wasn't on a mission or in conflict. It wasn't in a battle. It wasn't battling with insurgents. It was sitting in port, and it caught fire. But not only that, it took them almost 5 days and hundreds or almost 100 loads of helicopter droppings. This kind of what do you call them? Extinguisher type stuff on top of it. Those big helicopters that drop buckets. They did hundreds of loads, or at least almost 100. I want to say it was dozens. And they successfully got it out after 5 days. What kind of fire does that? They said that they were trying to keep it away from the fuel. So wait, there was no fuel, but yet it stayed on fire for 5 days. This is a ship that was designed to take fire, to be, bombed and stuff like this. It's designed that part of it gets destroyed and it still stays afloat because everything is compartmentalized. If you think in your head like the story about Titanic, how it was supposed to be unsinkable because it would seal off different compartments. If it was tipped, then it would seal this part off. That's how those boats are designed in a different kind of way, though. And they're steel. It's not like it is the Titanic. There's no curtains all over the place. There's no nice furniture with cushy cushions and stuff. There's not much fabric, right? These are steel tin boxes, and it stayed on fire. This was, of course, just a few months after the Chinese assault vessel was on fire in port, not in battle, not battling people, no nothing, was on fire for multiple days in port. How weird is that? And it just so happens that it was their Chinese version of the exact same ship that just caught fire in our port. Now you have Russia having a huge, crazy, amazingly big ship type thing like this catch fire. And it's like, what is going on? And of course, I did this picture, if you can see the green part right there. That is a theory. That's a theory that a lot of people are talking about right now. It starts with a D and it ends with ew. You like that? I thought it was good. So, Dex, I think, you know what I think, but again, not too many people believe that.
Yeah, and this is a tanker, and by the way, like the two you were talking about are amphibious warships, but the ones that happened in Ryan, it was 7 ships at different ports all at the same time, right? And they were probably a mixture of freighters and maybe even tankers for all I know. But it's we've seen this, and it's not like shark attacks, and you just start reporting on them like this is normal. This is not normal.
And mind you, this is something that is kind of a newer thing where you get these crazy fires out of nowhere, especially with naval ships and things like this. Mind you, Space Force got kicked into play. Then, of course, DOD just a few weeks ago said that they announced that both China and Russia, who may be a team, we're not ruling it out, have both weaponized space. So both of them have weaponized space. We created an entire new branch called Space Force. We are putting up a grid.
With Kaiser Permanente Virtual Care, my care team is already connected to my...
Sorry about that, guys. That's why we don't do C to the N to the N. So, again, this is something that has happened. And... you're talking about they put in this whole thing with Space Force, and they're building a grid around the entire planet with Elon Musk saying it's all for internet. But then slowly, as I predicted, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but it's not just internet. We just found out at least one clue that they said that part of Starlink will be to detect hypersonic missiles. Therefore, it is partly a military design. It's partly for military use. Otherwise, it is also going to be detecting incoming objects from somewhere else. We don't know. But we know for absolutely sure that Starlink is this grid around Earth, and it's going to be used to detect these things. If it is fully up and it is fully under the U.S. or whatever, because now they have this, they've always had this space treaty where it was peace in space and all of this. Obviously, they violated it. We are violating it possibly by doing this thing. Are we in partnership with these other countries to give internet to them? Has anybody thought about that Elon Musk and Starlink is going to surround the entire planet? It's going to be above other countries and enemy countries. Do they approve of this? Just a thought. But how they say it, it's going to be this grid that's going to be all around. And it's going to give internet to the world. It's going to give you internet out in Africa, out in the Serengeti, out where nobody has it. That's not the only purpose. And that's just my thought. What do you guys think, though? I'd love to hear it. Do you guys think that Starlink is purely for internet and sensors for hypersonic missiles, or do you think that there's going to be even more that are coming out? Do you think that there's more? Press 1. If you don't think that there's more, that it's just internet and sensors for hypersonic missiles, press 2. I'd love to see what you guys think about this. Jem, hey, Australian Patriot. Thank you, guys. Lisa Jones is here tonight. Lisa Arha, love you. Jstone78, love you. Lingo. Oh, by the way, Jstone, I need to talk to you. I know that you sent me a package. I was thinking about possibly opening it on air Maybe we can do some sort of collaboration. And then Barefoot Lass, let's see here. Zippy Moons, Proud Grandma, Shock and Grad. We've got people on, Carlos is over on Twitter. That's awesome. Johnny Dooms, Heart and Granny, Ja Farm. And then, of course, we've got John, Myrtle Beach, Heidi 12, Chester. Hey there. Dolores McCartney, Sue David, Sue's Mac, and then Crucial Habits. Thank you guys for all being here today. Kingdom Folk has followed. Thank you. Welcome to the Foogle fam. I hope people welcome Kingdom Folk. If you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Thank you guys for doing that. We Are Change MD says, T-Man Caravan driving tomorrow, starting from Lake Forest Mall in Montgomery County, Maryland. Huh. I know that there's a lot of stuff going down in Florida right now, Georgia, all sorts of things. Jim Williams, thank you, Adam. Love you, man. And Sea-Star Goddess, thank you. Everyone should practice their Second Amendment right. I agree. And then Susan Donahue, it's nice to see you again, says, with many thanks and much love on behalf of hashtag Team Humanity. Only Susan Donahue gets the echo. By the way, I don't know if there's been a couple nights where we do D-Live only or wherever. If you don't make the show, I still call you out because you don't have to even show up. You have supported the show, but not only that, you've been a part of our chat and a part of our community for a very long time. So just want to let other people know too. I always worry that people that do super chats or things like that they feel like they can't be here if they don't. Not with Susan, but other people. I've actually noticed that they, don't give people a reputation of doing that. I want to make sure that people are here every single night. I really do. Again, there are some people that have supported us through really dark times, and we appreciate it more than everything. They were kind of heroes last year, especially when we got hit really hard with different things. So thank you. And then if you guys want to support us in a different way, of course, you guys can actually help yourself and end up doing this and protecting yourself against an EMP. EMP Shield is an actual device that you can hook up to different devices, including your home, your car, your solar system, and even your generator. This is the same company that is now contracted with the government for, they've worked with DHS, DOD, and now they're officially on the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. This same company was mentioned in the EMP resilience report that went directly to the president. After the president saw that, he immediately signed an order to harden our grid because DHS was suggesting that every single person in the United States should have 6 months to a year of food because of a possible blackout situation. They say that is how big of a threat it is that every single person should have 6 months to a year. If you want to protect your devices, again, people say, well, what if the grid never comes back up? Again, you can actually, when that grid does come up or does not come up, you can actually have your generator protected and all of your devices in your home safe, your car to get places, and your solar system to charge it all back up. This is why you should have a multi-tiered protection. It will be a whole lot cheaper than replacing every single thing you own. So again, go to marfooglenews.com/EMP. Again, that it does support us. You get a discount on it, so you're actually paying less than you normally would, and you help the channel. We really do appreciate you guys, but in general, if you don't want to support us, go around us, go to a different creator, and get it. It is important in my opinion. So make sure to check that out. Dex, what do you think of this next piece here? So it says that Afghan security forces announced killing of al-Qaeda key member Abu Muhsin al-Masri. I've heard that name before. We've reported on that name.
Well, yeah, Adam, it sounds like we've got another one off the list of the FBI's list and others' lists, and it sounds like our forces were able to claim another victory. I don't actually know this person. I do recognize the name. I don't know what he's famous for other than being a member of that A group. He's
on the card. He's like one of those, you know how they made the playing cards with all the leaders? He was down and then he moved up after the big guys got knocked out.
Right.
The Masri part, al-Masri, I remember hearing this in articles about 7 or 8 months ago. He was part of kind of this movement, and he took out people in public in, I want to say, in Afghan. You're talking about kids. There was an event that was not covered publicly here as far as a bunch of children were involved, and it was a really horrible thing. And even the community there said that if they saw him, it was like on site, like they're taking him out. So some of these guys are not liked by their own people. He was wanted by the FBI for conspiracy to aid foreign T organizations and taking out U.S. nationals. So who knows what was really going on there, but we have now reported it. And then, of course, we have the National Guard called in to thwart NK cyber attack targeting Louisiana government offices. Full circle. Tell you what, so a lot of this stuff that's been happening over the last 2 years, it's been minimized and it's barely covered. But you guys know, and every time you see this, you probably think of a previous episode where we covered this kind of stuff. We saw in just a few days a ton of cyber attacks, and we actually questioned on who was doing it. But this says the Louisiana National Guard was called in to stop a series of cyber attacks, which used a remote access Trojan tool called Kim Jong-rat. No kidding. Aimed at small government offices across the state in recent weeks. The incidents, according to two people with knowledge of the events, highlight the cyber threat facing local governments in the run-up to the 2020 presidential. It says the situation in Louisiana follows a similar case in Washington state, according to a cybersecurity consultant familiar with the matter, where hackers infected some government offices with a type of malware known for deploying ransomware, which locks up systems and demands payment to regain access. We actually saw something like this happen to the hospital system. Over 400 hospitals had to stop what they were doing. Some were mid-surgery and had to stop because they could not access their computer systems. They had to move patients. Some folks had their surgeries actually canceled. So one thing too, and I heard there was a few fatalities out of that because people got moved back and ended up not getting it in time. Obviously, you could say, well, if that was the case, then even if they did have the surgery, they might not have made it. But there was a lot of crazy stuff that went on. And then that was at the same time, we had a nationwide 911 outage. What I have to tell you guys is always be prepared for anything. You have no idea. We could be sitting right here and all the lights just go woof. You hear the humming stop, you hear the electricity all go down, and then all of a sudden you go to your phone has no bars, you have no nothing. This is what not only just crazy people with tinfoil hats think, this is what experts worry about. And it's what experts have been trying to fix because it is becoming such a big threat. We're talking about cyber attacks taking out everything we know and we take for granted. Everything is now computer dependent. You guys know this. My audience is one of the smartest audiences out there because you follow all of the news. You don't let stuff slide through. In fact, most of the people that watch every single night, you guys know, it's not me. It's how we collect and make sure to not let any of this weird stuff go through the filter. We even grab stuff from outside of the country. So senior U.S. security officials have warned since 2019 that ransomware poses a risk to the U.S. vote day, namely that an attack against certain state government offices around the could disrupt systems needed to administer aspects of the vote. It is unclear if the hackers sought to target systems tied to this day in Louisiana, or were simply hoping for a payday. Yet the attacks raised alarms because of the potential harm it could have led, and due to the evidence suggesting a sophisticated hacking group was involved. Now they're saying it's NK. Do we know that? No. We're just going off of what they say. But what this tells me is that there is a bigger risk there. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, from a cyber point of view, they can identify the different tools that are being used. And that's why this one is going to be named the way it is. It's a RAT, which stands for a remote access Trojan. And they put the name Kim Jong in front of it to represent that it's a known problem that they've seen from, the NK, right? I sort of jokingly think in my head, okay, well, what does, like, say, Maduro do down in, Venezuela when, he thinks we're doing it? Does he call it the Don rat or something, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, actually, but we all have tools, right? We have a huge cyber threat department that is not just protecting, but is also out there doing the same thing across the rest of the globe.
Well, some think Venezuela was partly done by us. There's a lot of weird stuff that has gone on, and it's like
Right.
Because Venezuela says that they caught 2 people that were U.S. people, and right around when all their power. Now remember, they did have. Wasn't Venezuela one of the wealthiest countries as far as obviously it's not the people aren't the richest, but weren't they one of the wealthiest countries?
It absolutely was one of the wealthiest countries per capita, and a huge oil country. And yes, it was also a prime example of how wonderful that system of government failed its economy and failed its people.
It has
socialism.
Social. Yeah, it has social in the name. And remember, they lost power to the entire country. So if people think that this can't happen to us, that is wishful thinking, and I could completely understand to better yourself. And if you don't want panic attacks and things like this, that is great. But at the same time, maybe if you are that person that can't look this in the eye and look at it and actually accept the fact that this is not only a possibility and we should prepare for it, then maybe you should have somebody else, your significant other, your wife, your husband, somebody do it, or father, daughter, somebody, a grown adult that can handle this kind of stuff, and have them prepare for things like this. Because I do admit there's people that can't handle this kind of stuff, and they panic and they freak out, and that's why they call it fear porn if you're afraid of it, but yet you're obsessed with it, then you're addicted to it. That's not something that you should watch then, but you should keep in mind that you should be prepared and you should figure this stuff out. It doesn't take much time. People spend so much time on other stuff in their life. There's so much wasted time in every person's day. Unless you're Elon Musk going on 5-minute blocks, then you're probably wasting time at some point. Use some of that time to try to prepare for no power, no electricity, no 911, no cell phones, no communications. This is something that I believe will happen at some point. If we don't get taken out by any of the other things, that is one of the things that we could live through. We can all survive through that. That's the thing. We can survive that. But if it's like they talk about herd this and herd that. We need herd preparedness. If we were all prepared for these things and everybody was educated on how to make it, nobody would die. We'd be able to figure out things like that, but we don't. It's not part of society. It's, everybody knows how to use a cell phone. Everybody knows how to tweet. Everybody knows how to send a text message or send an email. Why don't we know how to take care of ourselves if the power goes out? That's on purpose. We're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to be able to, we're not supposed to, as far as they're concerned. And by they, I mean the people that run this planet. Says, well, staff at several government offices in northern Louisiana were successfully compromised as part of the campaign. According to the 2 people familiar with the incident response, the cyber attack was stopped in its early stages before significant harm was done. It says the Louisiana National Guard declined to comment on the incidents. The spokesman said they were called in to investigate the cyber attacks, but declined further comment. The governor's office said that they could not comment on an ongoing investigation. So what this tells me is that they brought these guys in, the National Guard, and they're not going to tell us how bad it was. So we have no idea. And is it only Louisiana? Is this happening all over the place? Have you noticed anything weird in your state? Let us know. DM us at Marfoogle. Again, that is at MARFOOGLE. Again, I hope that you guys learn how to spot this. And when you do, you'll start realizing like, oh, that's not Office 365 error that, I couldn't go to the DMV today because they said they were down, or all of the targets, I went to 3 targets and all the computer systems were down. That's probably not an error. That's not just a glitch. That's something going on and people don't report it. And remember, the NERC, I think it was the NERC did not report. They actually put out a report that the Department of Energy did not pass along to the public all of the stuff that happened to our grid. So things like that do not get reported. They get reported to Department of Energy, and then Department of Energy keeps them secret. Only 2 were reported. Dex, you were with me. We actually shared the actual NERC government document that shows that only 2 were reported. Is that correct, Dex?
Yeah, that's correct. I think it had only reported one, but at the time they had just reported another one outside of the report. So therefore, in theory, they had only reported two over that entire time period, which is really long.
9 years.
Right.
I think it was 7 or 9 years, and it was over 500 attacks on our grid. It was broken down into different categories, whether somebody was just taking a 22 and shooting at a metal box, to somebody driving through the fence, to somebody taking a lighter and all of those different things, to cyber attacks, to ISI catchers, or MISI, whatever they're called, from them taking machines, from them taking mini EMPs. All of that kind of stuff has happened. Did they cover it? Did they tell the public? No. So that's why, and that's proof. That's proof to people ask us all the time. Hey, my husband or my wife doesn't believe me. How can I get them to, how can I get them on the same page? When we put out stuff like that, grab that and let them know about that. The NERC report, I believe it was 2019, show them that. Say that's a serious threat. We need to prepare for that. Show them the cities and what has happened on previous. Show them Venezuela. Show them the other countries. And then show them, go, here's facts. Here's experts. Here's people saying that this is going to happen. Or if it does, it is going to be absolutely horrific. Show them the people that prepared in Venezuela compared to the people that didn't prepare in Venezuela. They say 90% of us would die if we lose our grid. And that is because we would not have access to clean water. Americans frantically buying military gear before the amazing day on the earth. It says it doesn't matter who gets the position of prez. It says founder Roman Jazaverski said that his new customers, quote, they think that no matter who wins, B or DT, there are going to be people who are upset about the result. Not long ago, perhaps a generation dressing like you're going to conflict was for the veteran who never quite made it back from Vietnam, or the angry young men who obsessed over gas masks and combat boots at the military surplus store. It says every American town seemed to have one, and only one. It says a shift became apparent with this spring's protests and bitterly resented pandemic lockdowns. Now the gear is everywhere, from camouflage-clad supporters and to right-wing who appeared at Michigan's Capitol even after men were arrested in a plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. It says in some suburban and rural settings, it's become everyday wear. A retail chain called 511 Tactical, which traces its roots to a friend of President DT's adult sons, is even trying to turn the survivalist look into a fashionable national brand. It says it's racking up annual sales of almost $400 million, with stores accessing this all over the place in places including Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the U.S. Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. Across the country, gun and ammunition sales have surged as well. Not to mention the huge outage of all ammo. You're talking about them price gouging on ammo. Most of the common sizes are all on back order. I mean, it's been incredible what this has done to the entire country. Not to mention the entire world. You're talking about people all over the world are stocking up on this stuff. Why? If people can't see the obviousness that something huge is coming, then I don't know what could tell you. I mean, we're talking about this is something like that has never ever happened before. At the same time as all the tensions, you've got everybody locked up and locked down and people going back into lockdown. Think about this. Everybody is talking about a second wave and a second lockdown. And people think that that's not going to change things. Woman behind the badge, 53 None, says, love your show, head on a swivel, geared up and ready to roll. Woman behind the badge, I'm wondering, if you are police, thank you for your service. I appreciate it. Either way. Again, we have some police that watch. In fact, some of my local police. I hope they're watching right now. A couple of people, RP and some of the other people that I have met. I always make a point of it to go up to them and thank them, even though sometimes it makes me look suspicious. I actually put out a YouTube story that I chased this guy to the salad aisle at like 1:30 in the morning. I was going to get diapers, and like I ran up with 2 things of diapers, and I'm like, thank you. Of course, make sure if you are going to say that, make sure to thank them. I don't think about anything else. I just realize that those are human beings behind that badge, and that not all of them can be bad. And again, so I got your 6. Dark Age Growing says VP Pence Chief of Staff tests positive for CV. So Dex, did you hear that? Maybe we can pull up a thing on that. Unless we have it. I think, do we have that?
It was, you said Chief of Staff, not actual VP, right?
No. Pence's Chief of Staff.
Okay, I'll look.
Okay. And then, yeah. So great. Thank you. Again, this is why we update our website even. So by the end of the show, we will have that VP Pence Chief of Staff. We will have something on that for that breaking news. And then, of course, Dark Age Growing, thank you. Hippies for T-Man says, well-deserved. Stay absolutely awesome, brother. You're stuck and inspiration for so many of us. Never stop being amazing. Hope fam is rocking. Hippies for T-Man, I hope you are rocking. I appreciate you, and sorry, I can't even say your name over on this platform. Okay. If you guys want to do something a little bit different and protect yourself, again, with all of the cyber hacking and things going on right now, people know that you are at home on your computer at all times. Make sure to check out NordVPN. It's one of the highest rated in the world. Make sure to go to marfooglenews.com/VPN. Then you get a huge discount, and it credits the show. We actually we get helped by that. Make sure to use that code, Marfoogle. Okay. And then back over, police brace for potential vote day unrest in a year when everything is uncertain. Now, this is by the Washington Post. It says, as campaign season heads into its fraught final days, police departments across the country are bracing for this big day, mobilizing officers as they prepare for the possibility of this, the people that are going to the ballots, intimidation, unrest, or violence. It says these preparations include extensive planning exercises, efforts to monitor early sites where you go in and put it in early, and concerns about how long any unrest could last if the results are not immediately known or challenged in court. It would be quite an event. That's why I'm telling you guys to prepare now. They are preparing. They are preparing big time. It says, while law enforcement agencies routinely plan for these things, officials say that this year's preparations are unusually extensive because of the sheer levels of anxiety and toxicity across the country, with fears of a modern American could give way to a potential violence. It says, I don't think we've seen anything like this in modern times, said Andrew Walsh, a deputy chief with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Tens of millions of Americans have cast their vote at early voting sites, and tensions and accusations of voter intimidation have already flared up during this process. Many Americans plan to turn out on election day, so enforcement officials have conducted drills involving multiple agencies to try to game out what could happen. It says police officials in multiple cities stress that they have no information about specific threats relating to the election. It says, but are instead preparing to make sure they are ready. So when I see this, obviously, it is pretty public that everybody is preparing on their side. Why aren't we? Of course, we are. So I hope that people are, and I hope you take it seriously. At least just think about the possibilities and don't obsess on them. But please, just get your plan with your, especially families with kids. If you got little ones, make sure you know where they're at. If they are at school, if they're in one of the states that does have school, make sure they have a place where they can meet. Make sure they have a safe plan. Maybe have a friend that lives closer to them in the case of an emergency. Let them go to the school and grab them. Maybe even clear it with the school to have that emergency person pick that person up. Think about it. Would you want your kids, if all things went bad and there was no cars or no way to drive anywhere, would you want your kid walking home or walking to the park? Try to get somebody that you trust that doesn't have their own family to do, and have them do things like this, because we don't know what's going to happen again. Again, the Elysium effect, the coming backlash to the billionaire new space revolution. Before we talk about this, I want to go over to the chat and see what you guys are doing. Thank you so much. Kelly2334 and Kahaja Flygirl, you guys have been going back and forth. Thank you so much for the diamonds, guys. Renegade PD, Angela KCH3, Veteran Steve is blasting people with subscriptions tonight in the channel. Thank you, Veteran Steve. Thank you for your support of us. Again, you are one of few as well that has gone above and beyond. Karen from Columbus, Johnny Doom, Matrix 45, Stoplight, and then Groovy Grandma says, Marfy, Dex, Mods, and Foogle fan. Love you all. Bless us all. Thank you so much for the Ninja Genie. And then KG Stasic says, protests in Bellevue again tonight. KG Stasic, are you talking about Bellevue here in Washington or somewhere else? Is that how you spell Bellevue? I think, no. So maybe it's a different Bellevue. Kahaja Flygirl, Oz Dory ID, thank you. And I will check either way. KG Stasic, thank you. Viper23, thank you so much for following. Amy Ann, thank you for following. And as always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. And then, of course, Mama of Six, Angela, Lemon Essence, thank you guys so much. Edgy Whalen, Renegade PD, Arthur Morgan, 89, thank you for being here tonight, and welcome to the Foogle fam. Make sure to welcome these guys as I say them. And then we've got Grace for you too. Love the Foogle fam, thank you. And then, of course, Melissa, 2322, and then Morning Flower, never seen that one before. Trek Prepper, nice to see you again. Staliti, looks like Greatest is Love. You don't have a badge. Enchanted by You. And Hopkinson, Recalcitrant. Thank you for being a massive supporter as well. It says Elysium effect, the coming backlash to the billionaire new space revolution. It says that in the 2013 science fiction film Elysium, starring Matt Damon, Earth's wealthiest 1.001 moved to the ultimate gated community, a luxurious orbiting space colony, leaving a poverty-stricken humanity to fend for themselves on a ravaged planet. Actually, that was a pretty crazy, just the plot and the thing behind it. I thought it was at least entertaining. It says, interestingly, it is indeed some of today's 0.1% who are leading the way into space to build communities beyond Earth. However, quite the opposite of the movie. Their goals are of the highest order, from democratizing access to space by lowering costs and creating new products and ideas to help save the planet and opening up space to future generations. It says, yet given the effects of the CV pandemic, it says social justice and green movements, even as entrepreneurs as Elon Musk, Bezos, and Branson spend billions of dollars to support a human breakout into space, there is a backlash building that holds these projects of icons of extravagance. It says, even as their work may help save the Earth, this is the Elysium effect. It says, as in any good social movement, there is a need for bad guys, and these guys are easy icons of evil to many, and there may be no easier target they could present than a shiny private rocket ship or space station, even if it is for a good cause. It says, though they have many flaws, including the accumulation of lots of money, these space pioneers are actually trying to do something good for humanity and the planet. And while they may not be the cuddliest of people, just look at their projects and goals. Musk builds electric cars and solar power systems. Bezos wants to move polluting heavy industry off planet, even as Amazon pushes towards zero emissions, and Branson is a longtime champion of social and environmental causes. So, Dex, one thing that Bezos is saying is this how I can take this? Is this correct? Because I guess I'm learning something right now. Is he saying that he would like to produce some of the things that are damaging our environment and produce that off planet, so it goes off into space instead of into our atmosphere?
Right. Now, yeah, that's the theory. So if there's certain things that we need to do that have a nasty byproduct, can we do that byproduct and let it, pollute the space instead of polluting our tiny Earth? In theory.
Well, think about it. If you had a launcher, this is kind of a crazy thought. What if you produced this toxic stuff on the moon? The stuff that puts stuff in the sky or in the ocean, whatever. produce that on the moon, and then have a rocket launcher, so it's just launched like a cannon towards Earth, and then have it land in a specific place. So say you target the ocean, and then it lands and splashes down in the ocean, and then they pick it up with all the products inside. Say it's just something stupid like made in China, plastic clocks or something. Load this rocket full of it, just shoot it towards Earth, and then have it hit in the ocean. This is the kind of crazy stuff that they're talking about. Isn't that nuts? I mean, just nuts. It says, yet these visionaries who author Christian Davenport called the Space Barons are often portrayed as rich boys with fancy toys. Rich boys with fancy toys? I guess maybe. It says, things will get worse when the next wave of terribly branded space tourists begin to fly. Bezos' Blue Origin and Branson's Virgin Galactic will charge over $200,000 for excursions to the edge of space, while newcomer Axiom Space Systems and SpaceX will offer flights to and beyond the ISS for a few tens of millions, and even loop the moon just for a few $100 million more. So nobody is going to believe this, because here's the thing: is as long as it's only available to people for tens of millions of dollars, and then again the one for $200,000, that doesn't even go up in space. That goes to the edge of space. I bet you the Earth like this, the FLAT Earth theory, will not be able to go to sleep until it's cheap enough where everybody can go up into space. Because honestly, only if somebody pays $200,000, they're just going to get that view. Nobody's going to believe that guy who spent $40 million going to be like, that he's a millionaire. He's lying. He's part of the elites. What do you think, Dex, as far as putting some of the arguments to bed, as far as this is coming, according to them? Do you think we'll even make it to the time period where we're sending up space tourists?
Well, yeah, I don't think that'll take too much longer. I mean, when you put private businesses into this, you start to get more that what we had in technology, the Moore's effect, where things, progressed very quickly. Whereas when it was bureaucratic with, just NASA, things progressed very slowly because of all the overhead. The one thing that I sort of struggle with is this notion that it's so elite right now. Of course it is. It's the first time it's been created, and it's being created in the private sector. So only the people who have tons of money can actually spend tons of money to actually build it. It's not like the homeless guy down the street is launching rockets, right? So I understand. And when I think about, just going back to say air travel in its infancy, it was probably very, very expensive to take the first flight across, the Pacific or across the Atlantic. And it wasn't that long before we finally got, cheap fares and discounted airfares and, 47 airliners all competing for our business. So, that it will become normal, I guess, as it progresses. But it's just it's not unnormal in my mind to think that it would actually develop this way.
Well, and by the way, there was a book that I read a long time ago. I believe I was in high school. It was talking about how people didn't believe planes existed until they saw them with their own eyes. And even then, they thought they were seeing some sort of illusion or some sort of magic trick. So when planes first came out back in the early 1900s, people didn't believe it. People said, no, this is impossible. People are getting in something that flies. And that's, they thought it was an illusion. They thought it was some sort of projector. They thought it was everything else besides a real plane. So who knows? Maybe as far as this space travel, space tourism progresses, as more and more people get up, maybe people will either believe it, or we find out it's just kind of a hopeful, wishful thinking and it's only for elites. Homesteading in the Heartland. Thank you, Marf, Dex, and Foogle family. Jumped from 294 to 454 subs. Much love. DMT spiritual conflict vid uploading now. No Wi-Fi on purpose. Homesteading in the Heartland. Well, I'm glad that you got some new people, some new folks over there. I'm glad I do enjoy love mobbing really good people like you. Mark Smith, thank you for following. As always, if you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. And then, of course, we have Kenneth H., one of my old original subscribers. I want to say Kenneth H. was my 5th subscriber. I'm pretty sure you were my 5th or my 8th subscriber, Kenneth H. Isn't that crazy? 5 subscribers. There was 4 other people, which 2 of or 3 of them might have been my family. That's nuts to me, Kenneth H. It says, hey, Adam, Dex, long time no see. Me and a friend just started our own YouTube blog, and all I can say is you and Dex work really hard. I have a new appreciation for what you guys have accomplished. So, Kenneth H., you know more than anybody. Yeah, it's changed a lot, definitely. We will help you for sure. You've been there for the entire time I've been on YouTube, so I thank you, and I do appreciate it. And to see people like that does kind of show we do have people from the original batch of subscribers. It's hard to be talking about anything and keep people around for that long, because eventually you do offend people. Those are the people that I like surrounding myself. Even if I do offend them on accident or I say something they don't agree with, they can get past it, and then we can get to the point where we do. Just a reminder, normally in the chat, if you are new, we don't put anybody else down. We don't put other YouTubers down. We make sure of it. In fact, that is one of the few things that our mods just won't put up with. And then Mona Sespi, been listening for about 3 or 4 years, Marf, and never commented until this year. I would listen. Love the shows. Well, thank you, Mona, and I've been seeing your name a lot, so thank you. It takes some people a while to get comfortable with talking. I've even met people that were physically, there were so many people, they were like anxious about chatting. They felt the same way as they did as walking in a big room with a bunch of people, which it's just so crazy to me thinking of that, since I've never had that problem, but I do understand. Vibron, thank you from Australia. I appreciate your donation of $2. Again, that's Australian, so I don't know, that could be $100 how our dollar has been going, but thank you so much. EO2 Dave says Bezos should stop China from polluting. Bezos could do a lot of things. If you have that much money, you could have some of the most powerful you could make rules at that point, and I bet you they do. I'm sure they pay people for laws that help them in their businesses, all sorts of stuff. Veteran Steve, easy for me. And then we've got Cheryl from Daytona. I find you all as offensive as myself. That's awesome. We are loving groups, says Karen Stasic. Bethy June. Let's see, that's cool. Make sure if you give out your information that you are careful, by the way. Just make sure to understand that it is online. WoW prepares for all. We've got hashtag Marfia, hashtag FoogleFam, hashtag Trudeau, Snafu Snaps. Jimmy the Lip. Jeff is probably the next Bill Yates. Sorry. Trinity, Windy Lou, Unicorn Forest, known to be true. That was awesome. And thank you guys. What do you guys think about the space tourism? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? Either way. If you guys do not want to be tracked and traced, I would highly recommend getting an eDeck bag. Again, this is something that can stop all signals going in and out of your phone. In fact, once you put your phone or your device, your laptop in, it goes off grid. This company has been selling these to agencies like FBI as evidence bags, because once they take a laptop for evidence, they put it in this so they can't remotely wipe it. These things are badass. Literally thermo-sealed everything. It's amazing with a magnetic enclosure. You can go to marfooglenews.com/edeck, use the savings code Marfoogle. You actually help us and you help yourself at the same time. All right, let's see here. Dex, thousands of witches are plotting to cast a binding spell on President DT on Halloween, so he loses to Mr. Joe on the vote day. What do you think about this, Dex? This is pretty funny.
It's funny. It's I've heard this before. We've heard this before. It seems like anytime there's something for him, there's especially around Halloween time, there's a whole bunch of witches that get together and say, we're gonna cast this on him. I think the one thing you can do, and I think we all can do, is maybe pray for him, pray for our country, pray for one another.
I think that's a great idea. Again, it says the Mystic Women believe that the 2 full moons this month have given them extra magical powers to kick T-Man out of the White House. We will see. I honestly, you just don't know at this point. Everything is up in the air. I don't think there is a single person that does not think that we are headed in for some craziness. And then we have an 8-year-old boy sees stars for the first time as blindness is treated with gene therapy. It says, wishing on a star is one of the most magical rites of childhood. Starlight, star bright, the first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. It says, but for one little Canadian boy named Sam, that simple activity was beyond his reach. That's because 8-year-old Sam couldn't see the stars. Sam suffers from a rare disorder, retinitis pigmentosa, a form of progressive blindness caused by genetic retinal degeneration that results from mutations in the RPE65 gene. It says you lose perception of light, Dr. Elise Hayon of Sick Kids Hospital explained to CTV. Okay, is the hospital really called Sick Kids Hospital? That's like for the Center for Kids Who Can't Read Well, or the Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good. It's a Sick Kids Hospital. Sorry. I'm sure it's a very awesome place. It says you end up in darkness and it's slowly progressive. It's relentless. Your visual field shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. Sam's sight was extremely limited, especially at night. Images most people take for granted, the stars, the airplanes streaking across the sky, or even our own shoes, were beyond the scope of his vision. Until recently, there was no effective treatment for his condition. It says now, though, however, thanks to a new form of gene therapy, many patients, including Sam, are seeing huge improvements in their eyesight. The science behind the protocol is impressive. It says after being modified with a healthy copy of the gene, an inactivated virus is injected directly into the retina. Each eye is injected only once. The healthy gene then goes to work, enabling cells to produce a protein that converts light into electrical systems. Signals. Which in turn facilitates improved visions and prevents further progression of the disease. It says the targeted gene therapy protocol developed in the U.S. was recently greenlit for the use in Canada. But with Sam's sight failing, he and his mom, Sarah Bannon, have traveled to America last year to get him treatment. Within a week's time, Bannon began to notice progress, and he says Sam's condition has continued to improve over the course of a year since he underwent the procedure. It says she reports her son gained incredible confidence. He dresses without help. He's able to see even when it's dark, and he no longer requires lights on when it's cloudy outside. Is this nuts? It says now he's able to function as a normal child, she told CTV. This is a story of hope. A child told it is what it is, and now when he looks up at night, he can see stars. Is that nuts? So what do you guys think about this, though? The way that they do it, this is playing God, though, at the same time. I'm sure there's some people that do not like this. Dex, what do you think about this?
The gene therapy, I guess there's a lot of controversy as to how the research is done and what things are used, but this is certainly a very good example of how someone's life can be significantly improved, and to have this child go from not being able to see and progressively getting worse to all of a sudden now he can see stars at night. I mean, that's pretty significant. That's life altering.
No, that is incredible. As far as everything that's happening right now, we're seeing. Here's one thing though. If you guys haven't seen the Tom McDonald video, he talks about cancer, and it talks about how he basically we've spent all this money, but we're not any closer to a cure for it. Some think that they might want to keep it around because of the companies that make all of the pharmaceutical stuff. What do you guys think about that? It's kind of a crazy theory, right? But it's just kind of odd that we've spent more money on it than anything else, and it's just about prolonging life. I know that everybody here has been touched by cancer, including myself. One of my best friends, I took him to every appointment, and I watched him go from a normal human being to skeleton, and it was just horrible. D Frustrated says, God bless and thank you, Marf. It's happening now. Living close to SpaceX, we hear booms all the time in the early morning. WW 1G DWGA. Got to be careful with that one. 10 days away and we don't have very many people left. Sonic Fox says, I would rather go inside the Earth than go off planet. Gabby says, Google takes 30% of everything you give, Marf. I'd rather use a Cash App. Gabby, nobody really... again, thank you for at least realizing that. A lot of people don't realize that, but if you do want to do something, you can do PayPal if you would like to support us in a different way. Thank you, Gabby, for your support, and we really do appreciate it. Richard Davis, thank you so much. Right now, by the way, Gabby, you and others, thank you, like Sika and a couple others. Just want to let you guys know, we are building a system right now, and it has had so many different complications. It's been incredible. We're trying to build a communication system that's untouchable, and you guys know what I mean by that. So thank you. Richard Davis, thank you so much. Southern Boy Prepper, thank you for all you do, my friend. Southern Boy Prepper, I hope you are doing well, and I hope you're creating and being awesome as well. And then Sonic Fox, your message, I would rather go inside the Earth than go off planet. I don't know. What would you guys rather do? Would you rather sit inside of a tunnel or a bunker? Or would you rather go off planet and go somewhere where there's air? I don't know. Or would you rather go off planet and be in the same thing? Because in some other planets, I bet you that we would have to be in these airtight bubbles. So would you rather be here doing that or somewhere else? It's kind of crazy to think about. And then a Cruel Vision ACV says, Flat Earthers already sent balloons up there. There's footage. It's flat. Dude, wake up. Well, see, that kind of comment is just, that's why people don't like it anymore, because people go, wake up and this and that. That's hard to say. You haven't been there. I haven't been there. Nobody can say anything, really. If a balloon goes up high enough and then pops because it can't get past that, then it's not really proof of much of anything. So again, nobody has been up there, and I mean nobody. And if people say they've been up there, then nobody's going to believe them either. So I think we should just be respectful to other people with other beliefs, including my mods. In fact, we have a few that are of that belief. So we get along splendidly. But that's because I don't tell them to wake up and be a jerk to them. Anyways, either way, let's see here. We've got over on D-Live, we have... Trash Panda 69, thanks Marv. Thank you. Well, thanks for supporting the show. Jem, Hillbilly Prepper, Clareberry, aka CF69, representing Texas Foogle fam. Woot woot. And then Kelly 2334, thank you so much. Lyric C, Kihaja Flygirl says freaking 2020. Nick 52182, thank you so much for the diamond. Thank you guys all for supporting tonight. Veteran Steve, thank you for gifting out subscriptions to multiple people. Hopkinson just grabbed one. Jimmy the Lip, thank you for the lemons. And White Yoba, thank you for the lemon. Greatest is Love. Angela 1609, Lala 776086, and then War of Shadows just received a sub from Sailing Dogs. Thank you all for being here tonight. Dex,
yeah, just a quick update, Adam. The Pence story is accurate. There's not much to report other than that for now, Pence is still continuing on with his activities, because I don't know that he was necessarily in direct contact, but he does obviously have close contact with that person. And then we'll wait and see what happens from that. And then, yes, Bellevue is the Bellevue in Washington.
And there's protests there tonight.
Yeah, it's been going on quite a bit.
Oh, wow.
Both Seattle and Bellevue.
Well, maybe I'll go cover it. I don't know. I know people say, don't do it. I think that there's a lot of stuff that it's just crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. By the way, if you guys have not followed me yet over on Twitter, make sure to go do so. It's Marfoogle News official, and it's at Marfoogle. If it's anything else, it's either this or MS Marfoogle, which is my wife. Again, that's the only two accounts other than Dex's, which he is at, what is yours again? At Dex at Dex James. Is that what it is?
No, I changed it. It's real Dex James.
Oh,
I don't want you to confuse it with the
whoa.
unreal Dex James.
Whoa. Will the real Dex James please stand up?
And it has a thumbs up on it too, because I can't get a blue check. That's like impossible nowadays. Dude,
I love that somebody did their profile picture as a blue check, and it does it. When you see them tweet, you think blue check. I thought, oh, they're.
That's a smart idea.
It was pretty funny, and then it looks like 20.8 follow. We're almost to 21,000. Thank you guys for being awesome enough to go over there and follow us there. Mainly too is here's the thing though. If we get taken down anywhere, that will too. It's like they're all connected now. It's crazy. So make sure to go to marfooglenews.com. Make sure to have that in your cache or in your bookmarks, because you might need to check it. If you don't see us for any time period, make sure to go there and see what the updates are. Sign up for the Marfoogle alerts. That is for damn sure. Make sure to do that. We have no reason to be. We shouldn't have any reason to be worried, but it's just crazy how they're doing crazy stuff right now. They're just, and YouTubers all over the place are just like, why? RKG 195703, thank you for following. Welcome RKG to the Foogle fam. Lady Green Eyes, thank you so much for the ice cream. Hag 6696, off planet please. I don't blame you. Oregon Farmer Girl, thank you. Anita Torres, it's nice to see you tonight. And then of course we've got Vibron and Lily, Proud Grandma, Chaos in the ER, Jojo A, Kihaja, Lion's Heart, Cookalicious or Cookielicious. And then Juggernauts Boris, thank you for following over on DLive. Dutch just notified Plate Shift Washington, California, or Oregon moving. Okay, so make sure to check that out as well. You know what's funny is I realize that he still has not accepted my follow request on Twitter. He's had a pretty weird Twitter thing because he is he's very private after he got hit by New Zealand and all these different things. But I just thought of the fact that we've sent him so many thousands of people. My mods have actually rotated his link for now 2 years in our chat, every single show for 2 years. And I can't even follow him on Twitter. I was thinking, geez, man, that guy, I still have never talked to him. He's actually just been in a chat with me one time. We were watching Begley and he popped in and said hi. And that was cool. But I'm surprised I've never talked to the guy, even though I've sent him thousands and thousands of people. So I thought that was funny. Let's see here. Make sure to check out his stuff and check out his newest thing. I am going to look at it because I'm in Washington. Occam's Razor, thank you. J9, Gem, Mama of 6, Serenity PA, all of you guys, thank you. And then, let's see. Dex, do you have any last notes on anything that was going on with you, as far as I know that you've got some things going on here?
No, Adam. I'm, again, just reminding people I'm not sick. I have a little hoarse voice because I was out doing my part in my local community today.
And you ran into a Foogle fan member. We'll end up shouting him out later.
Yeah.
He recognized you by your voice, which is hilarious.
Right. And I think he knew, because people know where I live. So he was like, wait a minute. Put 2 and 2 together really quick.
That's hilarious.
It was awesome.
He was talking, and the guy was like, wait, hold on. He's from somewhere. Wait, is that Dex? That's hilarious. People hear your voice enough. They know you. Some other gentleman at the, we were at the, one of those theme parks. It was Wild Waves. And a guy didn't even see me. I was turned away, turned towards a wall, talking to my daughter, and he goes, Marf! And he said it. He's like, I heard your voice and I knew right away. He said that he works at a warehouse and he listens to it all day. And right when he heard me talking to my daughter, he knew. And he was actually super nice, super cool. But it's just weird because people listen so much. They hear your voice before anything else. All right, Dex. Well, it is now time for us to go. Thank you for all of your services, Dex. I appreciate it.
Great job, brother. Much love.
Also, if you guys haven't checked out Mark Pyers on YouTube, make sure to go over and check him out. He's an awesome creator. We're definitely going to collab at some point. Let's see here. Mark Pyers. Mark Pyre's Real Talk. This is the channel. He's a very nice guy. If you guys haven't checked him out, make sure to go do so. Oh, and if you guys would all so kindly go love mob this gentleman. He is a creator. He's had just lots of love coming his way. Brixie, he is a Lego YouTuber, but he works so hard. This gentleman is such a nice guy. I talk with him personally. He is an incredibly nice guy. Him and his wife are in Canada, in Edmonton. Just send him love from the Marfoogle fam. As a personal favor, just say love from the Foogle fam. He is a great guy. He deserves it. He works super, super hard. And he's been held back by the whole COPPA thing, all sorts of stuff. And, he's just doing what he loves, his passion. So, yeah, make sure to do that. His name is very easy to find, Brixie. All right. And then, it is officially time for a shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shoutout. It's an outro. Wait, I just screwed that up. It's not an outro. It's not a shoutout. It's a shoutro. By the way, this is African Voices that I took from a thing and sampled it.
And my heart gonna bring it, and I deal out all
I've gotta be just like you and me. The thrills, Dewey and Jay Stone and Mr. C. Gotta say I love you. I was just like Beagle. I love Beagle just like I love a stew. Hey, snapper. Both the coffee and the coolant is under me. Grego too and everybody had bobbing. Hey, everybody want that Clara Baron. Now I see JBA, JBA, and JUBJ. Gotta say I love all of you like you love me. Race line, truth is out there, Brayley, and get off my lawn. Kenny Crowder and Michelle and everybody Tom. I love to see you go by. My lovely friends in Little Red Pill, your farm, and everybody know no harm. Gotta do it, gotta love it, just like we get to it. I've got to say, Claire Bear, aka, gotta love everybody for who they are. Wilson Hayes, gotta say, gotta love the way they say, heaven bound, hey, the curtain. Tina Jammer, I hope so. You are the best. Oh, 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 oh. I love the big girls going background. Everybody knows. Phil, Billy, X, and Morning Flower got the Greco rock out. Gonna do it, other Eagles, and I love you now. J9 and DX Sunshine, gonna bring it back like everybody in mine. Oh, 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 oh. Gotta love it, gotta show it, gotta be a person that you know it. Da, 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 da. Press one for love and minds. Everybody on the towns. I just wanna go back home. I'm gonna do it like this hard plenty. Gotta do it up, bro, and you think it's funny. Gonna bring back all that money. Don't bring it back and do it every day like Eddie Well and Cool and Say. Gotta do it like Mercer Wine. Everybody wanna go sit there, you find Bull, the copy. Gonna do it just like they see us do it. And Brown, going down, doing everybody now. I'm Brown, Infinity, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Hi Ho, Kermit the Frog here. Thank you for being here. Everybody loves it entirely. Abercrombie, Bluegar, and an Arm van, like a caravan. Gonna bring it back down, and down. Gonna bring it right back like a jump arm man. Got it on Teresa, Portillo, and I bring back the Bordello. Sam family, tall, drink of water, and everybody knows it. This is how we do. And I bring it back, Lando Susan, ball 111, pressing that button 1. Gonna bring it on the deep bell with the Southern Boy Prepper and Richard Davis. Luna Gabby on the Sonic Rise, the Defrosted and the Cool Vision ACV. Vibron, Lunas SP, and the Kenneth H. Homestead Nick in the Heartland. Hey, Marksman and Hippie Sports, I'm Dark Age growing in the mom and behind new badge. And none. Gonna do it and know we having so fun with the We Are KGMT, Jim Williams and the shooting down the hill and the Dockville and the Keith and Brown and the Bay, all Nick Cole, all none of your beeswax. Going right back like Ilea and Anthony Mann and David Rockwell. I'm about to do everything you say, Marie. All a special thank you. La 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 la. Gotta love it, gotta love it, gotta go and show it. Gotta bring it all the way back. Everybody really wanna do that. Gotta love it, gotta bring it. Everybody, hey, say, I love you, hey, awesome. Gonna bring it back, 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 gonna bring it back. Oh, all the love in the world couldn't give me another Marfoogle family. All the love in the world couldn't give me another Marfoogle family. All the love in the world, all the love in the world couldn't give me anything. Gotta bring it back now. What we say, Maurice Shaw, Jim Williams, doing one today. Gotta do it every day. Gotta bring it right back now this day. Oh, 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 oh. Special love for the special people out in the crowd there. Let's see here. Gotta love every day. Gotta be friends with people you don't agree with. You've gotta see the love that they had to begin with. Jeff Farm, Claire Bear, Keishara, thank you for being here. Veteran Steve was our massive number one supporter tonight. Veteran Steve is already an awesome supporter, supports Patreon, does all sorts of other things, is an amazing sweetheart in the community, and he's number one tonight. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for supporting independent news. Kelly2334 with just as much of an accomplishment tonight. Thank you so much for your massive support. 5.6 thousand lemons. That's crazy. Thank you, Kelly2334. Thank you. Grace for you too, right behind. Kahaja Fly Girl right behind them. And Groovy Grandma. You guys are all absolutely amazing. Thank you. Without you guys, we would be nothing. I love the way that we got to go inside. I love the way that we do everything with you. Marfoogle family, I wouldn't be anything without you. La 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 Bill Monahan, thank you for following. Mad Tuck 2, thank you for following. Welcome to the Foogle fam. our veteran Steve, who is amazing. Our veteran Steve, who is amazing. Our veteran. Oh! Veteran Steve in the bubble, and a veteran Steve in the bubble. Veteran Steve in the bubble, veteran Steve in the bubble. Veteran Steve in the bubble, a veteran Steve in the bubble. A veteran Steve in the bubble, a veteran Steve in the bubble. Veteran Steve in the bubble, a veteran Steve in the bubble. A veteran Steve in the bubble, a veteran Steve in the bubble. Veteran Steve in the bubble, a veteran Steve in the bubble. A veteran Steve in the bubble, a veteran Steve in the bubble. I just wanna say I love you, Marfoogles. I just wanna say I love you. Steve in the bubble, veteran Steve in the bubble, a veteran Steve in the bubble, a veteran Steve in the bubble, a veteran Steve in the bubble, veteran Steve in the bubble, a veteran Steve in the bubble. Everybody really wanna go back in there, everybody wanna go back. Veteran Steve in the bubble, a veteran Steve in the bubble, veteran Steve in the bubble. Veteran Steve in the bubble. It was all the day, but we had friends, we had to go, we had to say, nobody really wanted to be my friend, my friends, all of you want to see, it's in the now, nobody sees, it's so close to thee. Kelly 2334, thank you for everything and more. Never ever would have fall. Kelly 2334. Couldn't ask for more. Is a Kelly 2334. Never could ask for more than Kelly 2334. Oh, that down there, that back to me. Somebody's heard it, you know.
I've seen behind the scenes, and it is all of you. If they wanted to leave, they could leave, all of you. If they wanted to leave, they could leave, all of you. If they wanted to leave.
Trinity Trinity red pill or blue pill, hi ho. Kermit the Frog here. Thank you. Love all creators and supporters, says Trinity. Just Jules, recalcitrant, Gem, G Saw. The truth is out there. Be the change you want to see in the world. Trinity, again, thank you. Mark Pyers, Real Talk. Kelly 234, gonna bring it more, gonna do it back in the store. Kelly 233, feeling on the floor, gonna bring it out and more. Kelly 233, gotta bring it back and
There's grace for me, and there's grace for you too. There's grace for me, and there's grace for you too. There's grace for me, and there's grace for you too. There's grace for me, and there's grace for you too. There's grace for me, and there's grace for you too. There's grace for me, and there's grace for you too. There's grace for me, and there's grace for you too. There's grace for me, and there's grace for you too. There's grace for me.
I screwed it up again.
There's grace for me, and there's grace for you too. There's grace for me, there's grace for you too. There's grace for me, and there's grace for you too. There's grace for me, and there's grace for you too. There's grace for me. I just can't get it, man. I just can't do it. There's grace. There's grace for me.
You guys get the point. Jeez. Louise. Thank you guys for supporting me.
Who be on the mascot, tell me mascot. Be a bad mascot, take a mask off. Be a bad mascot, take a mask off.
Have a good night, folks. We are going to be hosting none other than
Be a bad mascot, take a mask off. Be a bad mascot, take
the Ugly Jizooies.
Be a bad mascot, take a mask off. 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 Be a bad mascot, take a mask off.